What's going on, guys? It's Madman Plant. We are back here at MJ BizCon day number 2, and we got Twister Technologies with us. They were gracious enough to give us one of their batch 1 goes, and from the bat, just being able to load this machine, the easy use, taking it apart in 6 parts, and the cleaning has made my life way easier when it comes to post harvesting. And we talk about, hand trim bud. Well, you can get a great trim with Twister Technologies. So let's talk a little bit about the batch 1 and the T6 and why home growers should take a look at these as options to save time and then be cleaner with their harvesting.
Of course, man. And Madman, you've always been great friends of the Twister Technologies family. We're glad to have you at the show. It's day 2. We're excited. But for all the home growers that are going to be stopping by either today or tomorrow, swing by if you're looking for a solution for your home grow when it comes to trimming. We've got 2 perfect solutions for you right here. As Madman already kind of explained a little bit about our batch 1 go. It's our tabletop dry unit. Does about 4 to 5 pounds an hour. Super easy to break down and clean. It's got a removable control box to allow you to actually power wash and do a deep clean after your harvest outside if you were into that. Also has got variable speed control in the back, so you can slow that down or speed it up a little bit on the tumbler. If you're going to be doing a little bit more, say a couple tenths or growing out the basement a little bit, I'd say probably the T6 is going to be your best bet. Also a tabletop unit, single piece flow, does come with a vacuum, does allow you to do a little bit more, have a little bit more moisture content or water activity in the flower to better set you up to go into cure afterwards if you're going to be doing dry trimming. You could also do wet trimming on the T6. You're looking at right around 3 to 5 pounds an hour dry and right about 5 to 6 on wet an hour. So pretty good throughputs. Both are super easy to break down and clean. Both of them have removable control boxes to where if you do want to do a deep clean, break out the hose, get a little simple green, polish it off with a little bit of ISO at the end, and it's looking brand new.
Yeah, and one thing cool about this too is, let's say you are gonna fill out the basement. Well, the T6 can actually be disassembled on this side and built to dual units, right? So you can actually expand this. Now the difference between the 2 that you're looking at is, one, this you would rock back and load it kind of like a cannon, and then you would put your lid on, and then you would set it down, and then you would start. This allows you to drop in your material going through the system and then coming out the other side, so you could go right into a bucket. The main difference is, 1, you need to unload. 2, you could just keep going throughout your processing. And then on their bigger units, which you can't see on the T4 over there, and this big, which one is this one?
That's the big brother to the batch 1 go. It's the batch 1 Pro, and you're exactly right.
Which is like this big.
It's pretty big unit for commercial growers out there that are into dry trimming only. Stop by, see both models. To your point though, scalability is everything. If you're growing from one tent to the next, you are able to run these in tandem up to 2 units on dry. Yep. That does kind of speed up the processing per hour. You're looking at right around 8 or 9, 10 pounds an hour on dry if you have 2 of these in tandem together. And yeah, the difference is really, single piece flow I'm more of a fan of, just because you're more in control, right? If you need to make any minor adjustments on the blade contact, all strains are significant in their own ways. Well, being able to make those adjustments on the fly is sometimes a really good tool to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, and to add to that note too is, you just made a great point. Like, say you're a person of very high detail and quality, which these machines can both deliver. You're going to be looking at, oh man, I need to adjust my blade speed, or I need to slow it down, or I need to increase the vacuum, and it'll give you a good range, where with this in it, you're at the mercy of sometimes having to look to make sure that some things are good, because what can happen, just like with any trimmer or even with a pair of scissors, is you could over trim. And that's something that I like about the variable speeds on both of these units, is it can help you mitigate that, so you can be successful either with the batch 1 go, or you can do it with the T6.
Exactly. This is going to be a little bit more quiet. Obviously it doesn't come with the vac. So
unless
if you want to be a little...
you don't take your stems out, then it'll probably be just as noisy as the vac.
Yeah, you probably had that happen a couple times.
Yeah, a stick and a bicycle spoke wheel.
Yeah. the card on the back flap of the wheel, man.
Yeah. So now we got another object behind us, which I'm actually using right now because although I love my Canna Troll, these are great units that can be adaptable. And when you talk about filling out a basement, 5-gallon buckets or even the containers or the Tupperware up there, you have a great range of size and space that these simple devices can add. Now let's talk a little bit about the Stash versus the Cure Puck and what would be the main difference.
Yeah, for sure. So we launched at MJ Biz about 2 years ago our Cure Puck technology, and essentially it's been on the market now for about 2 years. We've had great success with it. We have a lot of commercial growers that are craft growers that are using these in California, Colorado, Arizona, East Coast, pretty much all over the world right now. But it's basically expediting the curing process for you. No more having to open up jars and make sure the burp and the curing's getting done. It takes the second guessing out of curing, and it does that by monitoring the RH in the container, the CO2 in a part per million, and it also monitors the temp in the room that, the environment that it's sitting in. It gives you alerts on your phone on when the cure is done, say if the temp or the RH is rising or dropping inside the container. So it's taken a lot of that bro science of when and why to open and exchange the gas and the headspace out of the equation and does it for you. So very convenient. It's giving you really, really sticky flour. It's keeping your yields in check, preventing any kind of shake. It's also giving you a really, really good nose at the end of your cure. So if you're a guy that likes to cure, say 6, 8, 10, 14 days, you're able to do that without really breaking that seal. You're allowing the Cure Puck to basically do that for you. The Stash, which you're holding right now, is a prototype product that we're looking to potentially launch next year. It's going to be a lower price point than the Cure Puck itself. We're looking at maybe getting these around $300 MSRP, so great for the home grow. The only difference really is it's not going to have that LED touchscreen. It'll all be ran off the app, and both the Stash and the Cure Puck have app access that you get when you buy the puck. We're doing them for a show special of $445 at MJ Biz at our booth. Come check us out. Normally they're $595, so pretty good savings while you're at the show.
And then also too, a recommendation is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but when you use this, you want to do a little bit of a dry period first, like hanging.
Of course.
Just to make sure, because what I experienced out of testing it is if you throw a plant that hasn't had time to kind of air out and get a little bit of that water moisture activity, because you have the water moisture that's actually in the plant that's loose, that's coming out through the air, and then the water in the plant that's actually stable, right? And with that being said, it will skyrocket the box. It'll make this work way harder, and you could ruin this, and essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. You never want to be too dry. We always say you're toast. If you're too dry going in, you're never going to get that cure back. You also don't want to be a little bit too wet because then you're running a risk of getting PM or mold. So
and this helps them understand how to use this device because you will be successful. But there's just like with the Canna Troll and other devices, even like with the pair of scissors, you can ruin your harvest. So take the time to go to their YouTube, watch the videos, and really understand how this works because it's a two-part system. It's a you and the device. So you can't just get mad at the device if you buy it, don't know what you're doing, and then something happens. And the scariest part is, and that's why companies like you play such a pivotal role, is the post-harvest. After all that hard work of keeping that plant alive, healthy, beautiful, and now you could lose it all. But with Twister Technologies, you have the opportunity to be a rock star in that space.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on this. We've been doing it since 2007. When it comes to post-harvest operations and the processes that go along with that, it's kind of like baking a cake, right? You can screw it up any step of the way, but you always want to set yourself up for the next step and have success with that. So you're 100% right. When it comes down to drying, depending on where you're at, for me in Colorado, it's usually about 8 to 10 days on a dry hang. I'm hand bucking, I'm trimming the product, I'm getting it in there right about a 0.62 water activity level on the flower. And that's a sweet spot for it to where, my enzymes aren't burning off, it's not too dry, and I'm not running a risk at getting any kind of PM or mold on my cannabis when I put it in my container for cure. Leave it in there for 10 days, crack that seal, and you're ready to go, man. You got a perfect cake.
Awesome. Well, guys, make sure to check out Luke, Twister Technologies, and all the things that they have here at the show. And if not, visit them online. how can people find and support you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we do have Twister Technologies on Instagram. We have a great YouTube channel as well. Tons of editorial content on there. And then, my name is Luke. I'm based out of Colorado. I've been with the company for 7 years. Twister_Luke is my Instagram handle.
Perfect, guys. It's just starting. We got more and more interviews coming your way here at Madman Plant Smoke Busters. We'll see you guys very, very soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Great interview, by the way.